When I was a kid, I played all of the NES Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games. After revisiting them as an adult, I finally beat Turtles 2 and 3, but I still haven't made it through the first game. Many people place this game on the shelf labeled NES Hard, and I think I figured out why. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for the NES does something that is rare in modern games. It includes different flavors of difficulty, entirely different challenges for the player in the same single-player game. Let's jump right into the first difficult challenge this game is known for, that dam level at the end of Area 2. This game is broken down into different areas. In the second area, the turtles are tasked with defusing 8 bombs to prevent a dam from exploding. The level at the end is small and mostly linear. First-time players will likely spend a life planning out a route on how to get to each bomb, but the challenge is straightforward. The difficulty is in the execution. The game seems to throw as much as it can at the player in this stage. First of all, it's a water level, so the player is using swimming mechanics. On top of that, a water current is included that will push the turtles to the right. This makes precise movement very difficult. So of course, the stage requires precise movement to navigate the turtles all around the hazards and obstacles. Everything that is not a bomb will damage the turtles. These electric barriers have a tricky and strict timing. This coral, if touched, will swallow the turtles like some undersea demon. And the electric seaweed is just everywhere. The level never gives the player time to breathe. The path to the last bomb includes all 3 hazards, and the player will need to defuse all 8 bombs in 2 minutes to save the dam. It feels like the last round on a game show, where the contestant is competing for a grand prize, and they're not expected to win. While the game show contestant usually only gets 1 shot to win, the solution to this flavor of challenge is strategy and practice. The player will need to learn the hitboxes of the seaweed, the timing of the electricity, and the movement in the water physics. The best strategy is to start the stage with all 4 turtles. One of the best mechanics in the game I like to call the teamwork mechanic. At any time, the player can swap between the 4 turtles, so when one turtle is getting low on health, the player can change to another one. With my limited game selection and more abundant free time in my youth, I was able to hone my skills to the point where I could breeze past this level without losing a turtle. Of course, in the very next area, I would find a different flavor of challenge that would get the best of me. In Area 3, the turtles are tasked with finding Splinter. He's been taken to the city and the turtles must locate and rescue him. The map for this area is huge compared to the first 2. To help with this, the turtles now navigate the overworld with the turtle van. When first starting in the area, many of the paths are blocked with barriers that must be destroyed with missiles. Missiles are found inside the different buildings and sewers. The challenge here is to find the end of the area, but it's maze-like with one-way paths and dead ends. The barriers and missiles create an additional twist. Now players will need to manage their resources on top of remembering the confusing map. Each time the player collects a missile pickup, 10 missiles are added to the turtle's inventory. But there are more than 10 barriers that can be broken on the overworld. Some missiles will also be used while battling enemy vehicles while driving. So the player will run out of resources while trying to navigate the 12 different paths in Area 3. This leads to backtracking across the overworld and in the sub-areas, with all of the enemies and pickups respawning as the turtles retrace their steps. This form of challenge takes an entirely different skill set. No matter how much I practice and how good I am at defeating enemies and avoiding damage, I won't ever progress to the end unless I understand where I've been, so that I know where I still need to go. I can't mindlessly enter different sub-areas, because when I do, I end up going in circles. To this day, I still haven't ever finished Area 3. I've never been good at creating that mental map, and the only other solution is to check someone else's map. I usually end up getting lost, running out of resources, and then getting a game over. One of the reasons that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is so difficult is that it mixes these different challenges. So even if the player excels at one challenge, the other kind of challenge may block their forward progress. Area 2 is the challenge of execution. The problem is straightforward, and the solution comes through the player's reaction time and button inputs. This challenge is found in other games, like a unique obstacle in Super Mario, a deadly hallway in Castlevania, or a tricky boss fight in Mega Man. I personally prefer this kind of challenge. Over time, I can practice and hone my skills, come up with new strategies, and then feel the rush of victory after I execute my plan. Area 3 is the challenge of exploration. This challenge is also found in games like Metroid, point-and-click adventure games like Deja Vu and Shadowgate, and of course, the dungeons in The Legend of Zelda. The fun in these games is in finding efficient paths through dangerous areas to avoid unnecessary enemies, locating treasures and items off the beaten path, and completing side quests. I've only finished one Metroid game and 2 Legend of Zelda games. Not because they are bad games, but because this kind of challenge doesn't hook me like the straightforward challenge of execution. While Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles includes these different kinds of challenges one right after another NES game blends these challenges together at the same time. Little Nemo the Dream Master creates a large stage to explore, but then fills it with so many hostile enemies that the player needs good execution skills just to navigate the large level, along the way searching for a variety of keys. Check out that video next to see what kind of different challenges come from this blend of mechanics. Just a heads up, it's an older video of mine, so it shows how far I've come. Thanks for watching.